Hey, what's up, YouTube? Welcome back to my page, Money Making Juggernaut. I'm your host, Eric Richardson. Today, we're going to discuss the blueprint to success in the asset recovery industry. So yesterday in my Facebook group, we discussed having a plan, having a blueprint, and just going through and completing task lists, checking off, feeling a sense of accomplishment so that you can have success in this business. And I went ahead and made this flow chart. So hopefully this can assist you guys in actually making a blueprint, because you never want to freelance or, just freestyle this business. You want to follow a proven method, and this is a method that I use, and this is a method that a lot of my successful students use as well. If you guys are new to this industry, check on my page, do your due diligence. You can see that on this side, myself and a lot of my students are getting deals. And also, everybody that's in that Facebook group, they are looking to get, expertise help, next level. We do 2 calls per week, Monday and Thursday. Thursday with an attorney, Monday with me. And we discuss, ways to actually take your surplus funds business or asset recovery in general to the next level. Before we get into this, guys, make sure you go ahead and like and subscribe. This allows me to keep pushing out content. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So first step is going to be start your asset recovery business. You guys watch videos, you learn what the business is. So now you need to start it. You're going to create your company name. So your name can be pretty much anything that falls in line with, some sort of recovery, or you can have like a financial group, or you can call it a group. There's so many different names. If you already have an existing LLC and the name kind of ties in and makes sense, you can use that. If not, you can open a DBA, which is doing business as. You can still have your LLC established with that EIN and get a new EIN through a new DBA, but you can go that route. Oftentimes, DBA is cheaper. Okay, so you just want to create your name. Don't overcomplicate it. It might take you a day or two to think of. But get you a name, okay? It could be your last name and then group, Johnson Group, the Recovery Group, or, something solutions, like whatever you want to have, you can get that name. Next is going to be a website. So you create your website. You can get a free website on Google. You can get a Facebook business page. You can use Wix.com. There's many websites, services out there that you can utilize, very inexpensive to get that done. So it's not difficult nowadays to get a website. Definitely want to get that. Next step is going to be filing your company. So you're going to file your LLC with your state and get an EIN number. Okay, so to file it through your state, that's probably going to be cheaper than going through LegalZoom, and then EIN number, IRS for free. Next, open a bank account. I recommend doing a credit union. It's going to be cheaper to get started, typically $5 in a savings account. Go ahead and get that established. Next, you're going to identify your niche, okay? So this is what I'm really talking about, creating your plan, not freestyling. Identify your niche. Are you doing tax overages? Are you doing mortgage foreclosures? Are you doing unclaimed state funds? Are you doing bankruptcies? You have to identify your niche. Maybe you're doing all of them, and that's fine. That's completely fine. Next, you got to tell yourself, okay, am I going to attack a specific county, a specific state, or I'm going to do the whole nation? Okay, so make sure you establish that. You guys go through, check off, and write what you're going to do. Next one, become an expert in that field. So if you are doing tax overages, you need to be able to thoroughly explain to somebody how they're owed some surplus funds after a tax foreclosure. Same thing with mortgage foreclosure, unclaimed state funds, how these unclaimed funds came about, how you can assist them. Bankruptcies, same thing. So become an expert, do your due diligence, understand the background, and be able to thoroughly explain, because I say in this business, you need 3 things. You need to be professional, you need to be knowledgeable, you need to be an expert. So you need to be an expert in the ins and outs of this business. And by the way, guys, if you do not know how to be an expert, if you do not know all this information, that is provided in the course. Okay, so make sure you take advantage of the course, guys. It's going to give you step-by-step instructions. Literally everything we're going over now is going to be the skeleton, and the course is going to have the guts in it, okay? So next is going to be get your system set up. So finding leads, how can you find leads? You have free leads online. You have paid leads you can utilize. You can go to the county directly and pay. You can email them, contact them. So many ways to get leads. Once again, guys, it's in my course if you want to find out how to get leads. Skip tracing system. What are you utilizing for skip tracing? Are you using free sites, paid sites? Are you paying a virtual assistant, somebody on Fiverr, somebody on Upwork? How are you skip tracing? All right. Next, know what to say. Okay. So each one of these different niches are going to have a different type of call. So you need to know what to say. You need to know how to explain to them that they're owed this money without them thinking that it's a scam. Being trustworthy, okay? Having full transparency. Next is going to be the contact and method. How are you marketing for this business? Are you doing cold calls? Are you sending out mailers? Are you contacting them via social media? Are you doing voicemail drops? Are you doing SMS campaign? Are you emailing? You have to identify your method. There's nothing wrong with doing all of them as well. And then lastly, on this one for your systems is staying organized. Okay, so if you're doing this yourself, you're using a pen and paper, that might be okay as long as you're organized. Also, you can get a CRM, you can get auto dialers, you can get your system set up. Especially if you're looking to scale and automate, you definitely want to stay organized, all right? Next is going to be documentation. So you need to figure out how the county is going to accept the claim. So whatever niche this is, figure out how the county or state, if you're doing unclaimed state funds, is going to accept that claim, okay? You need to know what type of proof do they need, because oftentimes it's not just you fill out a form. They're going to need some proof, whether that's proof of identification, deed documents, some sort of documentation. If you're assisting an heir of a deceased individual, you need some of that documentation as well. And that leads into next, obtain the proper documentation. So on your end, you should already have your proper documentation, your agreement forms, your forms so you can get paid out, forms with attorneys, things like that. Once again, if you don't have that, that's provided in the course. Obtain the proper information through the documents. Next is going to be attorney assistance. Do I need an attorney on this deal? If attorney is needed, do I know where to find one? Do I know how to communicate with an attorney to get them on board? Do I know the structure for the payment? Okay, once again, that's in the course. All right, next is going to be setting up a notary. If these are legal documents, they need to be notarized. Get your documents notarized, know how to set that up. And then lastly, closing process. So you need to be following up with the client so you can get the signed documents back. Most times you're going to have to keep following up. Sometimes it might take 10 times until they sign and get it back. A key gem for you guys is actually send out overnight documents to them. Have everything ready. Set up the notary. Okay, when you just email it to them, sometimes they have to print. That could be a next step, and it's just wasting time. Okay. Follow up with the county to see payout. You have your documents submitted. You're going to be following up with the county, following up with your attorney. Identify when that payout is going to happen. Okay. Off the communication with your claimant, letting them know, giving them updates. Next, we're going to have disbursement of the checks. Are you receiving it? Then you have to disperse it. Is your attorney receiving it? Then he's dispersing it. Is the claimant receiving it? Then you're invoicing them. Figure out. All right. The next one, everything's closed up. Testimonials. Okay, so this is very powerful for your business because this is going to help your website. It's going to provide full transparency, and it's going to add the trustworthiness. Okay, you're an established business. You have live deals. You have testimonials. It will help you out tremendously. So hopefully you guys can utilize this, skeleton, this blueprint, and, check through and make it happen. Thank you guys.